Hello everyone and welcome back to the Knights of Knee. It's been a minute. Today we're going to look at something that I've been doing a lot of, that's 3D printing. And today we're specifically going to be looking at the anger tank. I'll have a link in the description. It's on Miniature Market. As we're looking at it, there's just a couple things that we might want to talk about that you might be interested in, if you can scale it, what you can do with it, if it comes with different parts. And we'll go right into that right now. So the first thing you're going to want to notice is that this is a Chibi 3D printed file. I printed mine on a resin printer. I'm sure you could print it on a filament printer if you wanted to, but I think this is meant for a 3D printer with resin, so you can get a higher detail at a smaller size. If you go to the anger tank and you take a look at it, you're not going to see, you'll see my painted miniature up there because I put it up there so other people can see what it looked like if you painted it, but for the most part, you're probably not going to see too many people painted or printed this yet. It's not super new, but it is new to the community as far as I know. So I went ahead and did this because I thought it was an awesome thing. It just looks cool. It's $5 for the print file. It comes with the Chibi driver and the commander. They do not have to be on here. There are two hatches that can take their place on the tank, but the rest of the tank is pretty much how it comes. You could not have the heavy bolter sponsons on the side if you didn't want to mount them. As you can tell, I put mine on the sides are actually facing the wrong way. And I saw that after I was done assembling it. I'm like, I'm not going to pull this apart. It's fine. I'll just keep it as it is. I kind of wish I had pulled it apart, but it's neither here nor there. It's done, and it still looks great. The scale is very small. This fits in the palm of my hand. I'm trying to think of something that I could even compare it to size-wise, and it's probably roughly the same size as an orc warbiker or something of that scale. It is very small. It can be scaled up. You could scale up pretty much everything because it comes in several different little parts. The only thing you're going to be limited to is the hull. The hull and the cannon, that main body piece and the cannon are all one piece. So when you put those on there, I guess it's just the hull. I'm pretty sure the cannon is separate. The hull is one solid piece. You'll have to thin it out yourself, which isn't hard to do if you've been working with a 3D printer for a while. It's a couple seconds of work. Absolutely worth it. Otherwise, this is a solid chunk of resin. As far as the paint scheme, I don't know. I was looking at it for a while, and I just decided it would be better if I went ahead and painted the tank hyper-realistic and then the people not. And I say hyper-realistic, as realistic as I can personally do with something that's the size of my palm. But I think it turned out pretty good. There's a lot of character in this. I still like picking up and looking at it. I'm seriously debating printing more without them. It's come to my thoughts that we could play a Lemon Rust tank battle using the Lemon Rust rules with Chibi tanks, and it would cost us maybe a couple bottles of resin, $60 for 10-20 tanks, and it's just too neat to pass up. Like, I'm heavily debating it. If I can get people behind me or some friends behind me that say yes, absolutely, I will gladly, if they give me the time and the resin, I will gladly print them some tanks, and we'll have our own tank battles in Chibi style, and it's just fantastic. The only downside, there are no alternate sponsons. Just what you see is what you get. No alternate hull weapon, and what you see is what you get. No alternate turret weapon. So whatever you see here, that's pretty much all the pieces, minus the two hatches because I didn't put them on. This is what you get. And I personally really wish there had been different choices, because that plays towards me wanting to actually use this aside of just having a paperweight or a model I paint and say, hey, look at this. And this is a pretty extreme close-up of this model. But I think I would rather have functional models. I've printed so many things recently, and most of them just sit in boxes, and it's a shame because there's so many beautiful things out there that you could print and paint and have a lot of fun with, but once you're done, what do you do with them? And I see other people having this issue too, like Squidmar Online is recently, and this is September 2nd, 21 now. He recently talked about this too, about giving away his worm models or throwing away his worm models. And I have to agree, I'm running out of space, so what do I do with things like this? But I really wanted this. I looked at it for months, and I finally decided, you know what, I'm going to do it. I did it, and I love it. It's great. Quid pro, I would prefer alternate turret weapons. The sponsons and the whole aren't a big deal. But, you know, the anti-tank one, the Punisher, the Plasma Executioner, I think those would look so cool if you could get those pieces and get them done. That's it for today, everybody. I'll be back soon.